Today's lesson is going to be on how to make a badge. This is great for my Paw Patrol hat.
All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a magic circle using gray yarn. I use the H8 5mm hook. If you don't know how to do a magic circle, go to my other tutorial for a step-by-step foolproof instruction on the magic circle. So we're gonna start the magic circle, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're gonna make 10 half double crochets into the ring. In case you don't know how to do a half double crochet, it's also in my tutorial on how to do a magic circle, but I'll just go over it one time as a refresher just in case. So you have one loop on your hook, you're gonna take and you're gonna yarn over. So now you have 2, then you're gonna take the whole hook and you're gonna put it inside of the circle. You're gonna yarn over again and pull that through. And so now you're gonna have 3 on the hook. You're gonna yarn over one more time, and you're gonna pull through all of them. And that's it. Okay, so you're gonna do 10 of these. Now we're gonna pull it tight. And you should have 10 half double crochets. Now we're gonna close it. So you're gonna go to the top chain and the top one, and you're going to just slip stitch to close. All right, so now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch around, not including that first stitch. We're gonna skip the first one that we're currently in, so we're gonna go to this one. And we're gonna do 2 of them. Okay, and then continue all the way around and you should have 20 stitches. Okay, so once again, once you have 20 stitches, you half double crocheted in each one, not including that first one. We're going to go ahead and we're gonna slip stitch. We're gonna go to the top of the chain. We're gonna slip stitch. Now that you have 20 and you slip stitch into the first chain, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chain 2 more. And we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's the next one. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to do 2 half double crochets into this next stitch. Okay, so now you should have the chain and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. And then we're going to do 4 more half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 total on that row. Perfect. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chain 2. 1, 2. We're gonna turn it, and now we're gonna start the top of the badge. So we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to slip stitch in the next 3. So we're going to go in and just slip stitch 1, 2, 3. So it should look like that. Okay, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is what's going to make that top part that goes up a little bit on the badge. So now we're going to go and we're going to slip stitch back into that same hole right there on the bottom of the chain. So we're going to slip stitch, and now you see you have your point. Okay, so moving on, we're going to slip stitch in the next two. One, two. Now we're going to chain two. And we're going to half double crochet into the next two. So 1, 2. So now it should look pretty symmetrical. Okay, so the next part is we're going to start going around, and we have to make it go out and then with a little point at the bottom. And how we do that is we're going to chain 2 more. 1, 2, and now that post from last time, we're going to slip stitch around that. If you guys see that, this one right there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take our hook, we're going to put it in through that post, and we're going to slip stitch around it. So you should look like that. Okay, so moving on, we're going to slip stitch in the next two. So that's going to be here. And we're going to slip stitch there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. That's what's going to be building out the badge. Then we're going to single crochet into the next two now that we're getting to the bottom of the badge. 1, 2. And now we're going to slip stitch into the next one. And we're going to make the point on the bottom. So we're going to do what we did at the top. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now what we did just at the top, we're going to slip stitch back into that stitch we just made the chain 3 out of. So we're going to slip stitch back in there, and it should look like that. Okay, so we're almost done, almost completed the badge. So now we're going to single crochet, single crochet, and then just like we did on this side, we're going to do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. So that looks like that. Then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to slip stitch. And we're going to slip stitch. And last but not least, we're going to join. And there you have it, guys. Your badge. Now, if you're going to go ahead with the Paw Patrol, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our white yarn and we're going to single crochet all the way around a white border. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our white border. Before we join, we're going to cut enough so we can weave in later our tail. And we're going to grab our white yarn and we're going to go ahead like we would normally do, start a slip stitch, only instead of picking up the gray yarn, we're going to pick up the white yarn, leaving enough of a tail. So I'm going to pull that up and then pull that through. And now we have the white on our hook and we're ready to go around. So just going around like I said, we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to do a single crochet all the way around. Now when I get to the corners, in order to keep it pronounced instead of rounded, what I'll do is I'll actually do 2 crochets, 2 single crochets together at the corners. So we're at the other corner. We're going to do 2 single crochets. See how that made a nice square? So we did half the top, and you can see that really accents it. So now where we are next is we're at the top. So when we get to the peak, we don't want to lose the peak. So you're just going to do a crochet inside of it. And then you're going to do 1 chain and then another crochet inside of it again, single crochet inside of it. And then you're going to go back down to the next stitch and continue on around it.
Now you're just going to continue around doing the same thing, making sure you do 2 single crochets in each corner of the top. Then single crochet around to the next peak.
Okay, we're back at the bottom peak. We're going to do just what we did at the top. We're going to do a single crochet into it. We're going to chain 1. And we're going to do another single crochet into the same exact stitch. And we're going to keep going around. And we're going to slip single crochet until the end. And at the end, we're going to slip stitch to join. Now with this one, since we're going to be sewing it onto a hat, and if that's the case, you want to leave a long tail so you can sew along the edge. You're going to take this part and you're just going to tuck it into the back. Tighten it. And there we have it, folks. Okay guys, so I hope that helps. If you would like to buy the entire pattern for my Chase Paw Patrol or Sky Paw Patrol hat, you can go to my Etsy page, and it's Ruff Apparel, RUFFAPPAREL, and you can buy it for $5. You can buy the entire hat. Thanks so much. Bye.